Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Place XP, and we have a special guest here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Muskan Jain. I recently graduated from VIT Vellore. I was from the Electronics and Communication branch. There's this first class of programming with Python in our first semester. That sparked my interest in coding. I recently got placed as a software engineer in Microsoft, and I started my full-time job on 12th July.
Okay, so firstly, congratulations for your placement, and we are very eager to hear about your whole journey. So, would you give a more like in-depth detail as to how you got selected, and like even though you were in a different branch, you went off in coding, and how you learned it like by yourself or from the help of your peers?
Yeah, sure. So, in the first year, that class sparked my interest in coding, but at the end of the first year, I got a few back. So I really couldn't concentrate on coding or learning anything new around that time. Around the end of second year, I cleared all my backs, and one of my friends introduced me to data science. I really liked maths, and I had an interest in coding. So data science kind of combines both maths and coding. So I got really interested after that. And then around third year, companies started coming for internships. Now I had no idea because I absolutely had no contact with seniors from my college and all. So I had no idea. Microsoft came on the campus and went away. I didn't even know they came and went. So after that, I started sitting for placements. Basically, I couldn't qualify for any of the internship rounds and all. Then the pandemic came. It was around this time I seriously started coding between the break in the break between third and fourth year. So after that placement started and I just kept practicing and all. Basically, all of my preparation has been through online courses, GFG, Lead Code, YouTube channels. So that's it.
That is actually impressive to hear. Okay, so how many levels were there in the whole interview process which you went through? And like, how
Uh,
did you prepare for it?
Yeah, so basically, what happened was uh, I got MTA certified, Microsoft Technology Associate, programming with Python code. I got certified in November, around November 2020. So in January, towards the end, there was a tech conference, a women's tech conference, Women in Tech. So uh, a lot of girls from the college attended that because the placement office had sent a mail asking us to attend the conference. After a few days, I received a mail from them. The mail asked me to apply for a particular job ID, and I had to fill my details in a Microsoft form. So I don't know, not everyone got the mail. Only a few people got the mail. A few girls got the mail. It was women in tech hiring. So after that, there was a coding round. I think around 100 or 150 girls qualified, from what I know. Then there was a hackathon which went on for around 48 to 72 hours. Then basically in this hackathon, I had to develop a web app. There were five themes regarding women's safety, women's health conditions and all. So I had to pick up a theme and develop a web app. Now I had never developed a web app before. So we had been assigned a mentor. So with this mentor, I was very honest. I was very honest. I told him that I have never developed a web app before, but I kind of somehow ended up doing it. I completed it with the documentation. We had to record a demo video. We had to record a pitch video. I completed it within 2.5 days. And after that, there was a interview round which focused on the hackathon itself. Then there was a tech interview round which was about coding questions and resume and all. Then there was another tech round which was also just coding questions and a few kind of behavioral questions. Then there was a final HR discussion where they gave me the news that I have been selected and they discussed my salary and everything. So it was around 5 to 6 rounds.
So, along with you, like the number of students that got the mail, amongst all of you, how many of you actually like cleared the like interview and got placed? What was the
So this was
ratio?
so this was actually an off-campus hiring. So I really have no idea. Uh, So like I seriously have no idea. But like in the hackathon round, there was a kind of a meetup, and I saw around 150 girls were there, 100 to 150 girls were there. So I guess after that maybe 30, 40 people qualified.
So like when like you did CS on your own and like you cracked the interview, so what are the tips that you would give someone who's about to go for an interview, whether it's on campus or off campus, regardless of
Uh,
their branch?
Yeah. So basically, the both the processes differ a lot on campus and off campus. On campus, mostly would get over within a day. It's very hectic, and you have to give interview after interview. You would get calls within 2 or 3 hours and something like that. For off campus, you have to wait for many days. So patience also plays a very big kind of role there. Basically, one should focus on coding. Like uh, DSA should be strong. Not saying everyone has to be a competitive coder or something. Like if you like it, it's obviously great. But yeah, your DSA should be strong, all the fundamentals and everything. Then the CS fundamentals like OS, computer networks, DBMS. If you are coding in C++, then you should know the basics of C++. Then and also you should know object-oriented programming. So basically, these things will be asked again and again. And if you have mentioned something in your resume, you should know it. And another thing is, for me, I had given so many interviews by the time I sat for Microsoft interview. I wasn't very nervous, and I also already had a super dream offer from campus in hand. So it kind of helped. So I didn't get too much nervous. And also, if you are coding, communicate your strategy to the interviewer. That really helps because if you're going somewhere wrong, they will tell you. Most of the people will tell you. And communicating helps. Don't be nervous. And yeah, so like that's it.
Okay, so what are your views on participating in like coding related clubs and all?
I wasn't really a part of any of the clubs or chapters, so I really can't comment on that. But a few of my friends were, and they learned a lot. So it really depends on how you utilize the opportunity.
What are your tips on like building like the most ideal and perfect resume?
I really don't know if my own resume is perfect. So yeah, but yeah, obviously I can give a few tips. So initially I started with very bad resumes. There were empty spaces and everything. So the thing is, the resume should be properly formatted. Like there should be one single format that you should follow for headings, and one single format that you should follow for everything in between. It should not be cluttered and all. So if you have any important achievements, like if you have achieved some kind of ranks in international coding rounds, something, or you have been selected for some scholarship or something like that, it should be mentioned on the top, so that as someone sees your resume, that's the first thing they focus on. And as for freshers, put your education details and the project descriptions should kind of focus on the impact that your project is making statistically. Like if your project is improving the accuracy of some already existing model, then it improved the accuracy from this percentage to this percentage. Something like that should be the description. And if you're doing a group project, then your individual contribution should be in the description because you have done some part and not the complete project. And after that, it's important that while writing the description, use bullet points and not long paragraphs. That really helps. That really helps because like in the beginning, I would just put paragraphs myself, and some peers told me that put bullet points. So yeah, and don't make your resume like a rainbow or something. Just use one or two colors. Like mostly I've used black in my resume, but yeah, you can obviously use a different color for headings and all. And another thing is, it's better if someone prepares their resume from scratch rather than using some resume builder apps and all. So there are a lot of good resume templates. Use them and build your resume from scratch. That really helps.
Okay, so like all of us are taught soft skills, right? So how much does it actually help in like getting placed and like your work life, whatever, mainly in the interview process?
Uh, see, it's important to be confident during interviews, right? And mostly the soft skills. If you're talking about the soft skills classes that we have on campus, that we teach Java and all, I would say like they try to teach, but you can't actually learn in that short amount of time, everything. So yeah, like listening is very important. If you are there and the interviewer is telling you something, it's important that you listen to them. You can't just like go off fire and like if you're listening to them, you will obviously perform better because you would know where you are going wrong and everything. Then I told you like communicating helps. Be confident. And also another thing is uh, especially for like EC people and other branches, if you're aiming for a coding job, so initially, you won't get a lot of chances to sit for a placement. I didn't get to sit in companies for around a month. It was in August that I finally got to sit in. I finally got to sit for the first round itself. So yeah, so like it can take a kind of toll. Mentally you can be in a bad place. So it's important that you just don't take those rejections personally, and especially if you're not even reaching the interview round, then it's no use taking those rejections personally. If you're reaching the interview round, then just try to kind of incorporate whatever they're telling you. If you are able to find out, mostly in on-campus placements, they won't tell you what is going wrong with you or like what you could have done what you could have done better to improve your chances. You have to kind of know it on your own. So yeah, so it's like you have to keep a good frame of mind the whole year.
Like, how would you like give tips on maintaining a good CGPA, and how much does the CGPA in reality affect like in your placements?
GPA matters a lot. I like my seniors told me it doesn't matter and all, but it really matters a lot because initially many a times it would happen. Like I told you, right? I got to sit in August, but a few people who were 9 pointers, they got to sit before as well. So having a CGPA of 8.5 or above, that is really, really great. And you would get most of the chances. And even if you don't get some chances, it doesn't really matter. So if you have a CGPA of 8.5 or above, it's really great. And like I maintained that CGPA. So basically for me, I got 5 backs from my first year. So the second semester, I got 5 backs. So CGPA took a hit there. But then after that, I basically like took 8 or 9 subjects in every semester. So I won't have any subjects. I won't have much subjects by the time placement started. And I had like one subject in my seventh semester. One subject. So basically, sometimes if you're finding some subject interesting, try to uh, try to like get an S or an A in that particular subject. Or I know it's like online classes are going on, but like when for a physical classes are going on, I would kind of focus on certain subjects and I would attend their classes properly. For the rest, I would kind of bunk or keep a 75% attendance. Otherwise, I would focus on some classes so that it doesn't get hectic at the end. I would like start preparing a week before for the exam. Facts, not like cats. I didn't prepare a week before. For facts, I would prepare a week before. And most importantly, quizzes, DAs, labs, projects, complete them. If you're completing them, there's a very good chance you would get a B or above grade. And like that's enough. So yeah, so CGPA does matter.
Do they look at the like overall average, like overall CGPA of the 4 years, or like mainly fourth year CGPA
No,
before they like prioritize stuff?
no. They look at the overall CGPA only. Because like there was not even a single place where I was rejected because of my backs and all. So yeah, so they look at the CGPA of all the 4 years.
So like, would you give any tips to juniors like myself, and like with even if you had backs, like the you made it, so like that's actually very inspiring. So what tips would you give to juniors?
Basically, yeah, we have to. It's not like should not just get lost in coding. There's some kind of development also you should do. Like just pick up one branch. Like either web development, data science, or like something. Just pick it up and do that as well. It's not like just competitive coding won't help. Uh, and then another thing is like there are mock interviews now. You can like practice a lot of you can practice through mock interviews. Give those mock interviews, and then just know your CS basics and everything. And also just try to keep a good frame of mind. I know like it's kind of it gets very difficult and all. I had people around me, they would get very demotivated and all. For me, I like there were around 5 to 6 rejection mails every day in my inbox. But like I got just got used to it, and it didn't matter after some time. But yeah, so you have to be like you have to keep it up so that you can just pull up at the end. Uh, like for me, whatever like even for Microsoft, and I got placed in Oracle on campus. It was super dream placement. Both of these opportunities are kind of what I would say lucky opportunities. I got them those opportunities. I got those opportunities through kind of some luck. But the thing is, you have to be prepared so that you make the best use of that opportunity. And I was able to do that. I was uh, like kind of very by that time I was prepared. I was prepared in a way that I could crack interviews. So yeah, that helped.